Hello all and welcome to my first challenge video. My name is Forgotten Iguana and today I'm doing a Monotype Psychic run through Pokemon White. Here's how it works. I am only able to use Psychic types, and as an added bonus, I am only allowed the use of Pokemon from the region I'm playing. Obviously, Gen 5 doesn't have Pokemon from other gens, but this rule will be true for each game I do play. Also, I am only allowing myself 4 Pokemon to use as a minimum and maximum. This means for games like Pokemon Blue, the Monotype Dragon Run will only be 4 Dratini, and the Ghost type will be 4 Ghastly. I'll do my best to diversify the movesets for videos like that. No items in battle as well, not even held items. Pokeballs are obviously acceptable, as well as items outside of battle are acceptable. I got inspiration to do this from watching Madrybread play his Pokemon challenges. Check out his channel, link will be in the description. Like him, I'll be writing this script as I play the challenge. I'll be using 4 Psychic types in Pokemon White. Comment down below and guess what my team will be comprised of. Also, it must be said that I will be using cheats to encounter Pokemon since most of them I can't get until late game. Let's get into it. I start off using the Pokemon Randomizer tool to change Tepig into Solosis. This is to ensure that I start with a Psychic type while also making it the most challenging for myself by eliminating a starter I'd be good against later game. The rival fights are a joke, so I won't bother including them, but I name Solosis Bub. Right after that, I start having trouble though. I go right to fighting N for the first time with his Purloin, and I can't do damage. My only attacking move is Psywave, which does random damage, has poor accuracy, and can't hit Dark types. Yeah, this might be a rough playthrough. Lots of starting trainers use Purloin, and so does Team Plasma, not to mention Charon. I'm gonna need a good Dark type counter, and hopefully soon. I grind a tiny bit to level 7 to learn Rollout, and thankfully that is enough to beat N. Moving to the next route, the first youngster gives me hell. He only has a Patrat, but it outspeeds me and has Bite. I can't reliably set up Rollout because I have the chance to flinch. I finally decide to just go for Psywave and beat him after a few tries. Yeah, this took me multiple attempts. I decide I should at least have 2 Pokemon for the first gym and Bianca fight, so I go and encounter my second team member, Gothita. I name it GF because my wonderful fiancée is goth and magical in her own way. GF clears the route of trainers, and it's Bianca time. GF is still injured from the trainer battles, but a few hits of confusion takes out her Lillipup. For Snivy, I throw out Bub and put up Reflect just in case before going for Rollout. Snivy just kinda spams Leer though, and Bianca even heals up once, but Rollout was strong enough to one-shot Snivy. I heal up and go take on Charon right away. I know he has a Purloin, so I'll probably have to rely on Rollout. I once again throw out a few confusions to take out his Oshawott. I decide to keep GF in and go for Tickle on Purloin to lower its defense a few times before going for Pound. I end up taking it out no problem. Huh. I figured that'd be harder, but Purloin didn't have a Dark type move yet. It's time we take on the first gym leader, Cress. Because the game thinks I took the Fire starter, he will be my opponent. I lead with GF and he starts with Lillipup. I get pretty lucky with my usual plan of spamming confusion, but he heals up and uses Bite for a huge chunk of my health. I decide to switch to Bub for the Panpour coming in. He starts using Workup and I build up my Rollout. By the time he finally uses Water Gun, it hurts a lot, but my Rollout is strong enough to finish him. On the way to Nacrene City, we run into Charon again. They really forced rival battles down your throat at the beginning of the game, huh? I have a secret weapon this time. Bub learned Hidden Power before this fight, and upon testing it a few times, I learned that it's Fighting type. This will be a fantastic answer to Dark types during this run. In the fight, Oshawott and Bub trade blows, but Hidden Power just isn't enough to finish the job and Bub goes down. 1 Pound finishes Oshawott and GF spams Pound to finish off Purloin too. We only took a little damage on GF, so it was pretty easy overall. Just before the second gym, N challenges me to a battle. Pidove comes in against GF. We learned Psybeam while battling trainers before this, so it only takes 2 of them to drop Pidove. I decide to stay in against Timpole and also finish it off in 2 hits, but it gets a few attacks of its own and drops GF to about a third of her health. Timber comes in and tries it for a Bide, but GF blasts it with a Psybeam for the win. With N defeated, we can challenge the second gym. But before we do, let's add to the team again. I force spawn the next Pokemon into the grass so we can encounter our LGM. I catch the LGM and name it Zoidberg. I'm sorry, I am terrible with nicknames, and it evolves into a pinkish alien, so that was my first thought. I level Zoidberg to match my other two team members, and we go in to fight Lenora. It does take me a few tries since she has some dark moves, but here's the run, we nailed it. I lead with Bub against her Herdier. I get hit with Leer, but put up a Reflect for some added protection. I still get hit by a massive takedown and come back with Hidden Power that just barely doesn't end it. Lenora heals up and takes another Hidden Power before using Bite to finish Bub. GF takes a takedown no problem thanks to Reflect and finishes Herdier. Lenora brings in Watchog and luckily misses Hypnosis. We get a few hits in before GF falls to Crunch. Down to Zoidberg and Watchog misses another Hypnosis. And we get a crit with Psybeam for the victory. Wow, that could have been much worse. That was only my third attempt. After that, I decide to catch my final team member before the third gym. I encounter Sigilif and catch it with ease, naming it Navajo. I believe that is correct spelling? Sorry if it isn't. I grinded a bit, and now it's time to battle Berg. This gym could be rocky since I have the weakness, but Navajo should carry if we get in trouble. He leads with Whirlipede and I go Zoidberg. Psybeam hits hard, and I take little damage. He wastes a few Hyper Potions before Whirlipede goes down. Dwebble comes in next and I stay in, getting hit with Sand Attack. I miss a Psybeam and connect with the next, but Feint Attack is enough to finish me. GF comes in and finishes it with Psybeam. Leavanny drops GF upon entering the fight, and I use Light Screen on a physical attacker. My bad. I try to build Rollout and Bub goes down. I send in Navajo to finish the job with Air Cutter, winning the badge. After that, I have to fight Bianca and Charon again. Bianca leads with Herdier against Zoidberg. My first Psybeam does just under half, but I get a high roll on the second and finish Herdier without taking damage. Servine comes in and lives just barely from an Air Cutter by Navajo. I get Leech Seated, but my ability Magic Guard prevents it from doing anything. Hilarious. A few more Air Cutters do the job. GF takes out Panpour, and Bub uses the old rollout maneuver to feint Muna. Charon is here, and it's Bub against Pidove. I build a few rollouts to beat Pidove, and for some reason he sends in Panseer? Anywho, that's a one-shot. Liepard is next, and I switch to Navajo for Air Cutter, which does the trick. Dua is just a few Psybeams away from victory. Man, these guys show up everywhere. Beat some more useless Team Plasma Grunts and got a sick bike, and then it was time to battle some trainers and take on the next gym. Before we can do the gym, N stands in our way again. Spoiler alert, he's with Team Plasma. I know, right? Shocking. Anyway, he leads with Sandile this time. Zoidberg has Hidden Power Water, which does a little damage before fainting. I switched to Navajo because Moxie scared me and ended it. I let Bub take out Scraggy, but not before taking a huge feint attack. Darumaka takes out GF with ease, and Navajo finishes the fight here too. N has a Sigilif of his own, and Bub gets in one good rollout hit before fainting. It's down to the wire with this one. Hypnosis does work as we drill Sigilif with Air Cutters. It wakes up and hits us back, but it isn't enough, and we win the match. Next gym leader is Elisa, and this one is gonna be rough. For those that haven't noticed, I'm not grinding a lot, and this is on purpose in order to make the game more challenging. I am still fighting available trainers in the area though, so we're on par with her team. Elisa has two Emolga that like using Volt Switch, so it's hard to knock them out. This is my first attempt. Her Emolga wipe out my entire team except Navajo, who puts up a good fight. Bringing her Zebstrika into range of victory, but it wakes up right before I deal the final blow and ends the fight. That one hurt a little. We were so close. After a few more tries, I decide to grind my team up one more level. I feel like I'm just close enough that one level is sufficient. I lead with Bub and take a Volt Switch, so she switches into her second Emolga. Luckily, Psyshock does enough damage for her to waste all her Hyper Potions right in a row. Bub takes down Emolga, and we're in good shape. Bub doesn't get a hit on the first Emolga before going down, and Zoidberg enters the ring. Zebstrika comes out due to Volt Switch and takes Zoidberg out, but not before we deal a ton of damage. Navajo doesn't outspeed, but tanks a Spark and finishes Zebstrika. For safety, I use a Light Screen before Psybeam, and Navajo goes down. It's up to GF, and Emolga is confused at half health. Confusion fades, but Psyshock does enough to end it and earn us our 4th badge. On our way out of town, Charon challenges us again. Liepard faces off with Bub. We get faked out and hit with Assurance, but Hidden Power's enough to take Liepard down with a crit. I switch in GF for Panseer since Bub is hurting. We take a little damage, but get yawned early and GF falls asleep as Panseer goes down. Navajo comes in to put Duat to sleep, however I missed Hypnosis not once, but twice. I decide to switch it up and use Psybeam. We took a few hits from Razor Shell, but got lucky when the one that was going to faint us missed, and we get the knockout. Tranquil is the final Pokemon, so we get into Zoidberg to handle it. We take a few quick attacks, but it doesn't threaten us too bad, and we finish the match with Psybeam. We work our way through the cold storage to gain access to Clay's Ground-type gym. Unfortunately, we have a bit of trouble beating the trainers, so I decide to get my whole team to level 32, and get some of these guys evolved finally. We evolve Bub into a Duosion, and GF into Gothorita before taking on the gym. I am a little nervous about this fight because I know he has a Krokorok, but that's what Hidden Power's for. Getting into the fight, he leads with Krokorok, and I send in Navajo. I get it to sleep immediately and get some damage in, but we get tormented in an early wake up. I get lucky and land a second Hypnosis to finish off Krokorok with no real issues. I have no great answers for his Excadrill either, so I decide on sending in GF. We spend a few turns lowering his special defense while he buffs up. This could be scary. We live a slash and successfully bottom out his special defense before GF goes down. I send in Bub and prepare for the worst, a one-shot. For some reason, Clay gets greedy and uses Hone Claws again? So Hidden Power takes it out from full. Last is Palpitoad, so we go back into Navajo. We put it to sleep and finish it with a few Psybeams. That went way better than I thought it would and only took me 2 tries. Upon leaving town, Bianca wants another beatdown. Navajo makes quick work of her Herdier while only taking a weak hit. Bianca wastes a Hyper Potion on Panpour and GF gets burned, but otherwise another straightforward knockout. Navajo is back out for Servine, and after another potion, I learned Psybeam is a 2-shot, so that finishes it off. Lastly, Masharna. And I don't have great Psychic-type coverage, not to mention how bulky this thing is. I go into Zoidberg and try for Headbutt, but the damage is unfavorable. Not to mention we get put to sleep. Bub is back out to try for Rollout, and we go to sleep again. This is rough. We wake up and get healed, only to be confused off a Psybeam. Finally, after stalling for a bit, I'm able to build a few rollouts. Just before the knockout, we fall asleep again. Mostly just an inconvenience until we wake up and deal the final blow. We still have to fight that thing one more time. We make our way through Chargestone Cave with ease, and it's time to battle N again. I didn't remember what he led with, so when Boldor came out against Navajo, I panicked a little. Luckily, we only take one hit that deals about half our health before taking it down. Anyone else notice how bad my sleep luck is? They always seem to wake up on the next turn. Joltik is a one-shot from Bub, and Ferroseed barely hangs on as well, but doesn't do anything to us. Another Hidden Power takes out Clink, and N is defeated once again. Make it to the top of Celestial Tower to ring the bell, which is what you should do if you'd like to be notified of my future uploads. I can't guarantee a set upload schedule yet because I'm going to be working through the quarantine, but I will try to be consistent. I won't ask you to subscribe since this is only my first video, and I'd like you to see more before asking that of you. But any subscriptions are appreciated. Skyla is ready for our challenge. I decided to level up to 37 for the whole team just to make it even. For Swoobat, we lead with GF. It uses Amnesia to buff its special defense, but Feint Attack is physical, and a few of those is enough to take it down. For Unpheasant, I go for Hidden Power for some reason. Psyshock is also neutral damage, and just stronger in general. We take a huge critical quick attack, but luckily, take it out this turn. Last is Swanna, and we taught the TM for Charge Beam to Zoidberg, making that the easy switch. We bring it down to half before being taken out. Navajo leaves Swanna with a sliver, and she heals up. A few more Psybeams do the job though, and net us the 6th badge. Just before Twist Mountain, Charon comes to tank with us again. After a few failed attempts, I got this battle. Zoidberg gets off a weak charge beam before going down to an air slash. Bub comes in and ends on Pheasant while expertly dodging an air slash. Liepard is next, and that is a little concerning. We get faked out, and then Assurance hits hard before we one-shot it. That was pretty lucky. GF comes in against Simisear, and they trade a few blows before GF faints. I try for recover with Bub, but we get outsped and knocked down to just Navajo. The monkey goes down to a Psybeam and leaves Dua as our final obstacle. I'm pretty sure that we hit harder and forego the sleep chance in case we miss. A critical Psybeam rewards our hard work, and we take minimal enough damage to win next turn. Whew, that was cut close. I used the trainers in Twist Mountain for leveling and realized that Zoidberg is too weak right now, leaving one option as we arrive in Icarus City. I decide to get my team to level 42 for the gym leader, which means evolution montage! GF becomes a Gothitelle finally. Zoidberg evolves into Behem, finally being pink and her name kinda making sense now. Lastly, our beloved starter Bub evolves into Reuniclus. All 3 of these Pokemon also learn Psychic, and are raring to go against the next gym leader, Bryson. Bryson leads with Vanillish, and we start with Bub. We throw Hidden Power and Psyshock out at it, just barely not finishing it as he heals up both times. Beartic comes in right after, and with the accuracy loss, Zoidberg is our switch. We have really bad confusion and misluck with Zen Headbutt, but manage to bring Beartic to red before going down. GF finishes the job and stays in for Cryogonal. A few hits from Psychic are enough to take it out without much trouble. This is where the story picks up. There isn't much to cover in Dragon Spiral Tower or the Relic Castle, but I'll play it while I talk about the future. The most important thing is the TM for Shadow Ball is found here. We will need that a lot later. The run is almost over, but like I said, there's going to be a Monotype run in every gen for every type. Let me know what you guys think about doing modified runs for Gen 1 Steel, Dark, and Fairy, and the Fairy type as a whole for the other gens that didn't have it. I'd be willing to do those despite the typing not existing in these older games. Also, comment below for what you want to see next. I don't have a capture card yet, so I do have to stick to the first 5 generations for now. Throw out a gen and a type you want to see the most and let me know. I started with this because I had a few friends vote for it in a group chat and chose the majority. I'm really excited to continue this challenge series. Back to the run. Bianca wants to battle just before we get to Opelucid City. She leads Stoutland and we use Zoidberg. Right off the bat, a combo of Work Up and Crunch messes us up, but we still score a knockout. For Superior, we go into Navajo and manage to waste all her healing items and finish it off without taking any damage. Simipour comes in and takes Zoidberg out quickly on such low health. Not sure why I even did that switch. Charge Beam isn't strong enough to one-shot. GF makes her appearance and tanks a few Scalds before dropping the Aqua Monkey. Last is Musharna, but we have Shadow Ball now and it's a great answer for it. GF makes quick work of it and the battle is done. I had some troubles in the Dragon Gym, but managed to get my team to level 47 before we start the fight with the final leader, Iris. First is Fracture, and a single Psychic from Bub is enough for the elimination. For Dredagon, I have Navajo repeat the tactic of using Psychic. I see we can't two-shot it and try for Hypnosis, only to miss. We survive it though, and go for Air Slash to try for Flinch, and miss. That was awful luck. Zoidberg is able to finish the job with Psychic. Finally, Haxorus comes in and GF continues the trend of using Psychic. We take a Dragon Dance boosted Assurance and lower its special defense so my next hit will finish it. Iris gets greedy and Dragon Dances again, leaving GF the finishing blow. We have the final badge, now it's time to battle Charon for the final time. He wastes his time with Unpheasant by using Taunt and Razor Wind, so Zoidberg takes no damage for this part of the fight. As usual, Bub is the Liepard counter and uses Hidden Power a few times to finish it. We do take a nasty Night Slash though. Samurott is out next and outspeeds with Encore, so I am a little worried since I used fake tears that I could get locked in. Luckily, he opts for Aqua Tail instead, and even misses the next turn for us to finish it off. His last hope is Simisear, who Navajo takes down in 2 hits with Psychic. This just leaves the Elite Four in our way. As I travel through Victory Road, it's time to talk about a topic I've been avoiding. The Elite Four in this game is Usually fairly easy, pretty low levels coupled with only 4 Pokemon each. But this Elite Four with my Psychic only run is going to be brutal. In case you don't know, the types we'll be facing are Fighting, Ghost, Dark, and Psychic. We have one advantage here, everything else is either good against us, resists us, or we can't really hit them with our strongest moves. Yeah, this won't be easy. I decided to make it even more torturous on myself by not grinding at all beforehand. We go in with my whole team at level 48. This is on par with the majority of the Elite Four's teams except for their ace, which sits at 50. First up, I obviously take on Marshall, the fighting type user. He leads with Throw and Zoidberg gets off a huge Psychic before taking an equally huge payback. Marshall wastes his full restores since I'm faster, and our determination gets the win. Mian Xiao is a weird one. It hits us with Jump Kick, almost faints us, and then goes for U-turn next round. GF hangs on, and the incoming Sock takes a hit before ending GF. I have Navajo go in for an Air Slash to finish the job. Conkeldurr is next, but is one-shot by Bub. Finally, Mian Xiao returns, hurting badly. I tried to get Zoidberg the experience, but we get fainted. A massive U-turn brings us to half health, but we get the victory over Marshall. If a battle where we had the upper hand went that poorly, I have a bad feeling about the next few. I heal up in between battles as the rules say I can, and head over to try Caitlyn. It isn't even a contest. I try the fight a few times and even go try Chantal and get swept. I need to level more. I spent about an hour grinding to get my team to level 53 in order to try again. Here are our stats. I know I forgot to show them off much earlier and I apologize. But hey, what a fun realization that 3 of my 4 Psychic type special attackers have natures that reduce that stat, because why not? Let's get back into it. I'm gonna skip the Marshall fight since I have proven I can beat him at an even earlier level, and move on to Caitlyn again. We both lead with Reuniclus and she luckily misses Thunder and we get the knockout without taking damage. Bub does just enough damage to make me wonder if I can 2-shot or not before Shadow Ball decreases Masharna's special defense, and we finish it off with ease. With Bub riding 2 knockouts, we move to a Sigilyph matchup. We get hit hard from an Ice Beam, but luckily get another 2-shot. Last up is a Gothitelle face-off. Shadow Ball doesn't do enough, so I use Fake Tears for insurance and wipe her out next turn. Halfway through. I am really dreading the Grimsley fight. So on that note, we go face Chantal next. Cofagrigus is her leading Pokemon and we have Zoidberg. Psychic does just about half, but we get hit with Will-O-Wisp and give the burn back with Synchronize. With the extra burn damage, I know for sure that Psychic will faint. For Jellicent, I stay in and keep up Psychic. We do get a special defense lowering on it early on before immediately getting crit and fainting off a super effective Shadow Ball. GF barely doesn't finish it off, so I use Fake Tears knowing a 4 restore is coming. It lives another Shadow Ball and faints GF. This is getting rough. Bub has more special attack and one-shots the fully healed Jellicent this time. Chandelure is next and comes out swinging, landing a Fire Blast to end us after a Shadow Ball. Navajo outspeeds and gets the knockout. Finally, Golurk makes an entrance. Not sure what it can do to me, I put it to sleep and throw a Shadow Ball at it before it wakes up right away. We take a big hit but are able to 2-shot it. Crazy to think that a missed Hypnosis there would have been a loss. That was my first try. Now let's see if we can beat Grimsley. Here goes nothing. He starts with Scrafty, so I know I chose the wrong Pokemon to lead. I switch Bub for Navajo. We lose some accuracy, but still connect with an Air Slash and even crit for a one-shot. Incredibly good start. I don't want to keep my accuracy loss, so I switch in GF to lower Crocodile's special defense. We manage to max out the loss before fainting, and one Air Slash does the trick. For Liepard, I sack off Zoidberg for some damage so we can finish it in one hit. I'm trying to save Hidden Power for the Bisharp in the back. Another Air Slash from Navajo avenges his teammate and Bisharp comes out. I put a little extra caution into it and put Bisharp to sleep before switching. It doesn't wake up immediately like everything else this run, and Hidden Power is a one-shot. Wow, I can't believe how well that went. Only 2 fights remain. I try fighting N many times. My first attempt I even got to his last Pokemon. It relied too heavily on Sleepwalk and crits for it to be replicated well. So I need to grind a bit more. luckily I don't have to do the whole Elite Four again. Another hour or so getting my team to level 56 and I try again. I lose another few attempts, but I'm even closer this time than before. I just need a little persistence. The fact that he uses a legendary makes this extra difficult, and I don't want to grind so high it's a complete cakewalk either. After a bunch of resets and failures, I get this battle. By now I know that if I miss Hypnosis on turn 1, I need to reset. We can't lose Navajo against Reshiram in order to win. We start using Psychic to try to get a special defense lower. I don't get the drop and get it low enough for his full restore, but Reshiram wakes up and uses Hyper Beam, immobilizing it next turn, and we finish it off. Our health isn't the best, but I'll take half over less. Vanillix is next, and GF comes in to drop its stats. It goes for Blizzard and misses the second turn, so it doesn't finish us, and we take out his second Pokemon. Caracosta comes in, and N wastes his full restore as we feint it shortly after with Bub. Archeops appears, and we have Zoidberg fight it. We take and deal heavy blows, making Defeatus kick in. If you don't know, when Archeops is at half health or less, it has both its attack stats cut in half. This makes it so Crunch doesn't finish us, and we get the knockout. Klinklang is up next, and I have Bub take it down with Hidden Power with just 15 health remaining. Our team is hurting pretty badly, and Zoroark is the last opponent. I send in Navajo as our healthiest Pokemon to face him. I put it to sleep just in case it does something crazy, but 2 more Air Slashes take it out. That was a hard one, but there's still one more boss to beat to finish the challenge run. Surprise, surprise! Getsis is the mastermind and Team Plasma is actually evil and stuff. Big shock there. This fight goes similarly to the end fight. I try and fail quite a few times. There are even times I get past Hydreigon and I think I can win, but narrowly lose. I keep at it until I get this run. He leads with Cofagrigus, and I have a similar plan with Navajo as the end battle. We put it to sleep and deal some damage, only for it to wake up immediately. Of course. We take turns missing each other before Toxic hits us. Our Magic Guard ability prevents us from taking damage from Toxic, so this is fine. I spam Hypnosis while he spams Protect until he is asleep once again. I get him into full restore range and deal some damage before putting it back to sleep. A few more Shadow Balls finally take it down. Bisharp is next, and we go for Hidden Power as normal. I was worried that Night Slash might crit us, but we live a hit and one-shot it. For Electros, I stay in to recover up some health. A few hits from Psychic are enough to feint it, but our health is low again. Bouffalant comes in, and we switch to Zoidberg. I expect to be slower and use Recover for nothing. I hope to get him low enough from recoil due to head charge that I can finish him and just hit Recover a bunch. At about half health, I go for Psychic, thinking it'll be low enough. I was wrong. Zoidberg faints and GF replaces her. She finishes the job with ease, and Hydreigon is next out. I have Navajo come in for some sleep tactics. I get it into red before it wakes up and hits a decent Dragon Pulse. Air Slash is accurate enough to hit again, and finish it off though. Last out is Seismitoad, and I have GF destroy his special defense. We take a good chunk of damage before one-shotting it with Psychic, and beating the game. Wow, that was an enjoyable run. It really felt like each team member pulled their own weight throughout the challenge, but Navajo was a huge MVP. With Dark-type being so common in this generation, I knew I wouldn't have the easiest time, so it was a great challenge. Again guys, please let me know what run you'd like to see next. Any gen from 1 to 5 is acceptable, and any type you'd like to suggest. And let me know if I should do Fairy-type runs and use Pokemon that were converted into Fairies as my team. If you made it this far, I hope you liked the challenge and are looking forward to the next. That's all for this video. This is Forgotten Iguana, signing off.